Good evening, everybody. So, a little bit of exciting news here. After some struggles last week, I was here late. I was here until, like 10 o'clock on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, whatever day. I had to be at my day job, and I had to be at a customer location for this thing that we've been doing for a couple weeks that took an hour to get to from my house. So I left here and I was working trying to get Bay 4, which is the first tall bay open. And I completely lost track of time, and I got home at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I had to then go in and work. It was the whole thing. I haven't been back here since the beginning of last week because I had to go on site for this thing. So I've lost some time. It's been frustrating because I didn't get Bay 4 open before I left. There was a problem with the pump. It wouldn't build pressure. It was trying to, and I could hear it rattling, and then it started clunking, and I thought it threw a rod. It actually was just the valves. So I ordered a repair kit from CleanRite. They're $260. I didn't want to do a full frame rebuild on the pump if I didn't have to, so I just tried swapping the valves tonight. I had to run to Home Depot to get the right size socket because everything was cranked down really tight. I was having trouble to get to draw at first. Couldn't figure out what was going on after I did all that. Really, really frustrated. And started working backwards. I came into the bay and I disconnected the high pressure hose. I'm just going to let the hose hang and see if maybe there's an airlock in the line. Sure enough, it started shooting a lot of water. These pumps don't work on high volume, they work on pressure. So if you just have an open hose, it'll shoot a stream like 4 or 5 feet, but it's nothing crazy. Tried to put my thumb over it and it blew my thumb off, and I'm like, oh, we're on to something here. So I my camera. Okay, there it is. Why am I not looking at the camera? At any rate, trying to stop saying any rate as well. But I grabbed another gun just on a whim, put the other gun on it, and it started building pressure, and I heard the pump start knocking, and then all the valves unlocked on it. And it's got some oomph behind it. And also the bay swivel, or the boom swivel stopped leaking. So I'm like, okay, this is. So I did some tests, got out here with the floor cleaner, cleaned the bay because there were screws and some construction stuff. And I'm going to show the results. This is Bay 5. Bay 5 is going to take some time. The boom swivel that is up there, it leaks real little. I burned the seals out of it. All right, I was trying to take it off, and it was stuck, so I hit it with some heat, and I hit it with way too much heat, and I smoked the seals, so it's got to be replaced. I have the replacements. I've got all of these. They're they're $40 a piece, so they're not very expensive, but they're irritatingly expensive. But I got to figure out how to get the hell out of the boom without stripping it out now. This bay is going to take some time because the walls are missing sections of FRP. They were originally going to demo this place, right? I caught it right as they were getting ready to either repurpose or completely demo it. So I caught him, and there was some stuff that was done. So I have to fix this. That's going to take some time. This bay has a few other issues, so it's if I don't have it open this year by Christmas, I'm not mad. Got some chains laying on the ground here because Bay 4, my first tall bay, is open and serviced. And as you see a dripping wet filbert, I just put everything through its paces. So this bay is a little different than the other ones, a little more roomy. I actually like it better in the pressure, and everything is really good because of the proximity to the machine room. The 5 is going to be amazing once I get it going. Now, 4, everything was great. But I made a bit of what I thought was going to be an error, and I actually am not mad at it now that I've used it, because I'm putting all these things through their own paces as a customer too when I get it going, and my van gets clean because you can't have a dirty van for your car wash. So on this side we have our wheel and tire. I don't have my signage yet. That is supposed to be here Thursday. These walls are in really bad shape too. I'm going to end up replacing them, but it's just not this year thing for financial as well as time reasons. So we have our hoses come out of the ceiling up there. I just did a simple to these coil hoses and these coil hose mounts. These are what I use in my bays. They're durable. If I have to change a hose, I just have to change it here. Hopefully my hose coming from the ceiling is all right. My only concern I have for these is that hose isn't very well insulated up there. And I may end up wrapping it or doing something. We'll see. I'm going to use antifreeze soaps. Lesson learned from the other bay. I don't have the docking holder for the pre-soak aiming anything because this spits in spurts for a minute when you first turn it on. So my idiot savantism, if you will, was, as you can see between those two hoses up there, there's a big damaged spot on the wall. And unfortunately, the block behind that is it's really screwed up. You can see where a boom pulled out at one point before. And I didn't want to put a boom over there. So I put the low pressure boom over here. And then I thought, well, that sucks because now I've got my high pressure hose and my low pressure boom on the same side. Not a problem. It works beautifully, at least in the larger bay. The smaller bays, it may be a problem, although I think the bays I gotta measure. I think they're the same width. It's just the height that's different on this one. I've still got to do the Monex rewards. I have to tie it. It's really simple to do. This box is a little weird because whatever they had here at one point, which I presume was a credit card reader, it's actually pushed the metal in when they mortared it. And I had to beat the hell out of this with a hammer to get the door in here and then take an angle grinder to the door and kind of reshape the bottom because this is not... When I took them all off, I took them off and threw them in my van. I didn't pay attention to what one came from where. Again, you live and learn. So I have to do some work and make sure they fit before I start doing anything with it. But by the time I had it all, by the time I figured out this mess, everything was wired up, everything was done, and come hell or high water, I was not going to be changing it. So it doesn't necessarily sit in there. I'm going to see if this causes a problem, and it might, because you have to remember when you put a coin in, it's going to go through the coin acceptor. And these are actually a different coin acceptor than like what I showed you on the vacuum. These are electronic. They can do 6 different kinds, tokens, etc. I'm only doing quarters right now. But the whole point being they're a little more specific. And it does drop out the bottom. And it has to hit this funnel in here to go down into the wall vault. If you miss the funnel, your coins will start accumulating in here. I have these plastic things that they're supposed to be little trays that are supposed to work. We'll see. I may have to put them in. Regardless, it's operational. Just in time for Veterans Day tomorrow. I am going to be here tomorrow. I have the day off from my day job. And my intent is to, number one, I got to clean the pump room. I got to get organization in my work. And then I think I'm going to do everything I can to see if I can start getting this bay online. That way I will have bay 1. Somebody left trash in my bays. Good Lord. Oh yeah, lots of it. I'm going to put on gloves because who knows what was on that towel. But anyway, stop saying that. Also, I've got shoulder hoses I'm going to put in here. It's great, but the hose shouldn't be hanging on the ground like this, and it's just going to cause problems. So, I'm going to fix that. And I also just nearly busted my ass in a mud-filled bay. I think I need to buy a shovel for here. I've seen it on camera. I wonder what the hell is going on. Well, now I know. But at any rate, all right. I'm going to start charging myself like $1 every time I say that. I'm going to go get the floor sweeper and see what I can do with this mess. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.